Another big 3 points are up for grabs this afternoon as Arne Slot makes one change to the side that started at the City ground last weekend. Joe Gomez comes in for Curtis Jones. There's no Florian Wirtz, of course, today, though he remains out with a back issue. It is another relegation battling opponent for the Reds today in the form of West Ham, although the visitors have picked up, haven't they, in recent games? And boss Nuno Espirito Santo, of course, knows all about how to win here at Anfield, taking all 3 points with Nottingham Forest last season. It is one for the football traditionalists today, a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff here at Anfield. We will bring you live audio commentary of all the action here on LFC TV, All Red Video 2 and the Match Centre. Yeah, welcome along to all of you watching this afternoon. A warm welcome as well to David James and Jason McAteer are my guests this afternoon. We'll hear from them in just a minute. First, though, let's get the full Liverpool starting 11. Here's Peter McDowell with the team news.
Well, no Florian Wirtz, Becky, as was confirmed by Arne Slot yesterday. More worryingly is that there's no time scale on that either. So that is the enforced change from that team that produced the late show last week. Curtis Jones drops out of the starting 11 and Joe Gomez comes in. So perhaps a more orthodox look about that right-back position. There is some good news. Jeremy Frimpong rejoins the Liverpool squad, only fit enough, though, for a place on the bench. So let's confirm the 11 in full for you then for Liverpool. Alisson, of course, in goal. He actually saved the Jarrod Bowen penalty on his debut against West Ham back in 2018. Liverpool won 4-0 that day. We'll take more of that today. Gomez, as mentioned, who comes in. Virgil van Dijk, this will be his 101st start in the last 104 Premier League games. He's been that immovable force for Liverpool, the only player to appear in every Premier League game this season as well for the Reds. Konate alongside him. It goes Kerkez, Szoboszlai, we presume, maybe in that 10 position that's been vacated by Florian Wirtz, and McAllister, who was responsible for the late show at Forest. That was Liverpool's 48th winner scored in the Premier League in the 90th minute or later. Mo Salah in the side as well. Not a Mo Salah problem that he's gone 9 without a Premier League goal, according to his manager. It's maybe the team not scoring as many as they should, although Salah has 13 in his last 18 against West Ham. Cody Gakpo, who scored in the reverse game late on to confirm the win. He's 2 goals off 50 now in Liverpool colours. 3 goals against West Ham in Premier League football. All of them, though, have come away from home at the London Stadium. Ekitike with 10 Premier League goals, 15 overall, but none since his 2 here against Newcastle at the end of January, and Gravenberch completes the 11. So it then goes Mamardashvili, Woodman, Chiesa and Jones on the bench. Frimpong, after a couple of hamstring injuries, he will be given a little bit longer before starting again. You wouldn't bet against seeing him at some point here today. Andrew Robertson as well, who drew Liverpool level here late on last season against West Ham before Virgil got the winner in added on time. Nioni, Ramsey and Ngamoa amongst the substitutes as well for them. Another late show for Liverpool last week, and as you probably know by now, no team more than Liverpool have produced more 90th minute winners or in stoppage time goals than anybody else in Premier League football this season. Probably key to note as well is that West Ham have scored more goals in the opening 15 minutes than anybody, but Liverpool with just 3 wins in the last 8 here at Anfield. That form really needs to improve today to take full advantage before Chelsea and United play tomorrow.
Thanks very much indeed to Peter McDowell with that Liverpool team news. We'll get our teeth into the team news in a moment. But welcome along. We are blessed with an absolutely beautiful afternoon here.
3 o'clock kickoff we're blessed with.
I know.
It's nice, isn't it?
We said one for the purists, but we don't get too many of them. So you're looking forward to this one this afternoon?
Yeah, the Premier League caters for everybody now. It's a global enterprise, isn't it? And we've got to cater for everyone. But it's nice to be at Anfield, sunshine, and I mean, to be honest, driving up here, it was torrential rain in Manchester, which it always is, to be honest. But I didn't think it'd turn out quite like this. But it's a nice day, 3 o'clock kickoff. We're at home, and hopefully it'll be an improved performance than what we got last week at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, David's had a longer drive, 4 hours to get here. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's got jet lag.
4 hours and a lot of rain, passing a lot of Liverpool supporters on the way. But as you say, 3 o'clock, beautiful. I did check the weather before I came, and I knew that it was going to be...
It was very grey on Merseyside this morning, wasn't it? Not at all.
But it's going to be sunshine and fun here at Anfield for this afternoon.
You're anticipating some fun then? A good
Yes.
afternoon.
I mean, we can see in the background here, Carlsberg initiative. They're going to be signing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
More on that later.
Yes,
You're
so,
going to be signing
indeed,
it as well.
Yes,
We're
so it's going
looking
to be a great day.
Well, in terms of the team, let's get our teeth into that, because just the one change, Joe Gomez comes in at right back, and he's come off the bench the last 3 games, Jace, so probably predictable maybe that he might start today, but there was always the question that maybe Dominic Szoboszlai, been so effective there, might start too.
That's always the question, isn't it, when we don't have a specialist right back, who is it that's going to fill in? We've seen Curtis Jones do it, but more or less it's been Dominic Szoboszlai, and to take him out of midfield does take away a bit of Liverpool's creativeness, Liverpool's pressing. He has been Liverpool's standout player this season in that role. His versatility has kind of killed him a little bit because he's been asked to play at right back, so it is one of them things, but Joe is probably a more specialised right back. He gets the opportunity, having been injured like you said, and he comes in today. There was a big call for Rio Engamoa, but I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But just picking the same consistent team has helped with improved performances, I think. The Brighton game, the Newcastle game, the Sunderland game, not a lot of changes, and it's brought consistency, relationships have been forged, and it's brought positive results.
And Joe Gomez is ever reliable, David, and we'll be looking forward to getting a start as well this afternoon himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm laughing to myself for the goal on the other day, where he'd lined up for the long throw, took a short throw. Exactly what they planned on the training field. But I mean, silly things like a long throw. I mean, he offers that, which no one else does. That will be important, I think, today against West Ham, who are going to be stubborn in defence, and he'll be enjoying himself, as you say, to actually start rather than just coming on as sub. So everything's positive.
I think as well, like Jared Bowen, if he starts out there as well, on the left, because he can play left or right. If he decides to play on the left, because Espirito Santos was thinking maybe Liverpool don't have a right back there, it might be an area of weakness, it might be an area to exploit. It's nice to have Joe Gomez there, and if Jared Bowen does line up there, it'd be a good match-up there.
There is the option as well to bring Jeremy Frimpong on, of course, who is back with the squad. He's been training this week. His pace is electric as well, so that's potentially an option come the second half, you might think.
Such a shame that he picked up the injury when he did, and it was so early on in the game here at Anfield, wasn't it? Because he was just finding his feet. I mean, there was a few question marks over him, his performances. Has he adapted well enough for the Premier League? Is he weak enough? Is he strong enough? All these questions were being asked around the time his kind of form changed, and he was playing really well. Arsenal away done really well. The next game he was, again he was influential. He came on, set a couple of goals up, didn't he? Or a goal up with a great ball into the box. And it was like, he's feeling at home now. And then obviously he picks the injury up and it sets him back. So back in the squad, it's nice to have another fit player in the squad. Yeah,
the squad looks a little bit healthier this week when you look at the bench. There's a few more options this week than maybe we've had in recent times, David.
Yeah, and I think the flow for Liverpool is getting to where people expect it. I know it's a little bit late in the season in some respects, but with regards to qualifying for the Champions League, what you want is that squad being to its maximum or as close to maximum as you can. So Arna's got the opportunities to put Joe Gomez in rather than having to play players out of position, and it means all the players are going to be fighting for those places. So it's a good position. As I say, it's a very positive place at the moment for Liverpool.
You touched on Dominic Szoboszlai, but let's speak a little bit more about him, because it does free him up to be in that midfield role where he has the ability to influence the game to the maximum, Jace.
He influences it in so many different ways as well. It's just not with the ball. We seem to have a better balance defensively as well. He does set the press off. He organises. You can see him talking to the players around him. He'll set Ekitike off, or he'll encourage him to go, and then he's right behind him. He kind of knows what he's doing. We've seen plenty of times defensively this season, especially with the likes of Verts, who are coming up to speed with how the manager wants to play. He'll be slow when the press goes on, so all of a sudden they pick Liverpool off and they break through the lines really quickly. And that's just, a player getting up to speed, but Szoboszlai is already there. He's already won the title. He knows what the manager wants, and he's got a great engine. But he's a leader as well. I think he's captain for his country.
He is Hungary captain, yeah.
So, he'll take on that responsibility, and you need it at the top end of the pitch sometimes. It's hard for Virgil or whoever it may be from the back to organise. But he's very good at that, and plus set pieces. You know, we've seen how dangerous he is when we get a free kick around the box. He's much better in that area, but because he's so good, he brings a versatility, and that means he has to do different jobs now and again.
Yeah, he's almost a victim of his own success because he is so good in different roles, isn't he, David? But that leadership aspect is a really important one, I think. I know Milos Kerkez, who obviously plays with him on international level, has said, of course, he's seen that at Hungary, but we've seen that a lot more with club football this season with Liverpool, haven't we? Those leadership qualities come to the fore.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I mean, I'd go back to Joe Gomez's throw. He trusted giving the ball to Dom to get the cross in. I mean, it's one of those things where I think everyone was expecting and everyone was lined up for a long throw, but it's like, no, Dom can deal with this. And to be fair to Dom, he took his time getting the cross in, but that's the leadership role that you're talking about. The players recognising who to give the ball to at the right time to get the end result. And, you know, his performances, and I've seen lots of stuff on social media about his running, closing down and all that throughout the seasons. Not having the armband doesn't mean that you can't be a leader, and I think Dom's a great example of how to control and lead that midfield in times of crucial times for Liverpool.
Do you know what I really like about him as well? When Liverpool have been in a difficult time, and I've watched them play, and sometimes performances aren't up to scratch, he never shies away from the job. He never shies away from responsibility. He's always like, I'll have it. I'll try and do something. I'll lead.
He's in the thick of everything,
he's in the
isn't
thick
he?
of it, like good or bad. He's there, and you need that. You know, in the bad times, it's very difficult. You know, players will hide. They will shy away or shirk away from responsibility. They will hide, give little 5-yard passes instead of, you know, maybe trying to thread one through when it's on, and just so they don't give the ball away, so the crowd don't get. He's not afraid to do that, and it's been very, really important. The change in Liverpool's fortune, I think, has been a lot down to him.
OK, let's take a look at how the Premier League table stands at the top ahead of this game. And it feels like a fairly big opportunity to get some points on the board early when Manchester United, Chelsea both playing tomorrow. You've got to take that opportunity to put the pressure on, haven't you, James?
The psychological battle's all over the table, isn't it? You look at the top, City and Arsenal, you know, who plays first, they win, they put pressure on the opponents. You know, you've got Villa falling away now, bad result for them last night. Then you've got the race for European place, and it looks like it's won. It looks like we're going to get the 5th place with England getting that 5th place. It looks like that's going to happen. So it's between Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United. And again, down at the bottom, West Ham have got a chance now, if they win today, to put pressure on the teams around them. But for Liverpool, it's important that they win today to put pressure on Man United, who play tomorrow. Yeah,
we're looking at here at the next batch of fixtures, David, for the 4 clubs, you would say, who are vying for what is likely this season to be 3 Champions League spots. When you look at, in terms of Liverpool's rivals, not the easiest fixtures coming up there. Villa playing Chelsea and Manchester United. Chelsea facing Arsenal tomorrow, but you've just got to look after yourself, haven't you? That's all you can do.
You have, and as Jason said, I mean, you look there, Chelsea, Manchester United both playing Aston Villa. And what Aston Villa did last night, all of a sudden you think, hang on a minute, this could be a difficult game, or what Villa will turn up. I mean, I think everyone was surprised that Wolves beat them 2-0 last night. However, you still only have to win your games and then allow whatever happens in front of you to happen. And as I say, I think the confidence that the Liverpool team got at the moment, they should feel confident with the 4 games coming up at least. Then see what it looks like after that.
Villa look very catchable now. You think if Liverpool win today, they're just 3 points behind, 10 games to go?
Yeah, I've done Villa over the last month, and you just feel like they've hung on in games, or they've just nicked a couple of points. They haven't been convincing. They look tired. Champions League has taken its toll. The squad is slim. They've had injuries. The manager looks like he's on the edge. He's a bit anxious, which is unlike him, uncharacteristic of him. You know, I just feel last night again they've gone the well and they just haven't been able to produce, have they? And you know, I just feel a very catchable Villa.
OK, let's get the details of the opposition starting 11 now. Peter McDowell has got the West Ham team. Pete.
Well, 11 games to go for West Ham, Becky, 18th place. They might not have had this game down as one at the start of the season, where they might have fancied themselves to come here and continue to clock up the points. But they are 7th in the form table at the moment, just 1 defeat in 6, and they've just released their annual profits or losses. More to the point, they've lost £100 million in the last 12 months. They really cannot afford to be relegated this year. And when you see the quality of the 11 that they've picked, an unchanged team, by the way, away from last weekend, you will see what kind of quality they would be at risk of losing should the dreaded happen to them. Let's confirm their 11 in full. Looks like a 4-5-1, the favoured formation now of their manager, of course. A very defensive manager, but how will he line up his team here today? Nuno Espirito Santo. Matt Hermansen in goal. He's the guy who's regained that goalkeeping position. He was dropped after struggling in the first few months of the season. And then the back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's in some decent form at the moment. Mavropanos and Axel Disasi, who joined them last month on loan from Chelsea. He's been a big part of their revival. And El Hadj Malik Diouf on the other side, on the left side, a back line that's kept 3 clean sheets in the last 4. Like any Nuno team, first and foremost, they will set out to be really difficult to crack. And then the midfield 3 of Souček, Nagasa and Matias Fernandez. Fernandez only 21, destined for very big things, with or without the club that he's playing for at the moment, you would suspect. And then the 2 wide men in Crescencio Somerville, who's down the left. He's pacey, he's so direct, got 6 goals in his last 8 games. And Jared Bowen, their skipper, their talisman, top scorer in 3 of the last 4 Premier League campaigns, top scorer again this season with 8 goals. And Valentin Castellanos, the lone striker up there as well. He may have experienced defeat against Liverpool more than any other opponent, Nuno Espirito Santo, but he's been here before, and of course won with Nottingham Forest. If he can repeat the feat, that will be really important as well. The Hammers would climb out of the relegation zone before Nottingham Forest play tomorrow, so potentially a really big afternoon for West Ham United here at Anfield today.
OK, thanks, Pete. Let's just remind you what happened now between these two sides when they last met. It was at the London Stadium 3 months ago.
Bright sunshine in East London, and hope springs eternal that form is temporary and class is a mainstay. Gomez with the cross. Gakpo is that man back post. Viet's almost got there. Isak did, and it's a wonderful save. Mistake by Wan-Bissaka, and it was Viet who thought he just passed the ball into the back of West Ham's net there. Gakpo was onside, I think. Isak! Premier League goal number 1! Disagreement between referee and Capueta here. But it's a red. He persisted and persisted. Eventually, he's been sent from the pitch. Somerslide as well. Joe Gomez. Gakpo has finished it. And just when Liverpool needed it, they have put this one to bed. It's a good day on the road for Liverpool. All 3 points. This was a priceless win.
It was indeed a priceless win back then, and another 2-0 win today would do very nicely. I think Steve Hunter will be on the mic for us at 3 o'clock. Let's join him up on the main stand gantry right now. Steve.
Thank you so much, Becky. Good afternoon, everybody. The sun is shining. It looks like a nice day at Anfield here today. Great to have a 3 o'clock kickoff for those who love the 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday. Of course we do. We're always used to that, weren't we? Never mind these 8 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday night, by the way, even though we've done all right from them games this season, haven't we, against Newcastle and then Brighton in the Cup. West Ham, of course, today is an opportunity, I think. I agree with what the lads are saying there. You know, Chelsea, difficult looking away trip to Arsenal tomorrow. That's going to be a fascinating encounter. But all Liverpool can do is, as always, is think about ourselves. We need to get the 3 points here today and match what we did last season, as we're about to reminisce on it. What was a big win in the title-winning campaign last season. Of course, we got it over the line, and the atmosphere at the games at Anfield were absolutely brilliant. And I think we need that at this moment in time to get us over that line again. I mean, Luis Diaz opening the scoring here from a Mohamed Salah pass, of course. That was the first goal, but then we couldn't get another goal, and West Ham got an equaliser. It's a defensive error, isn't it? Andy Robertson puts it into his own net. Remember, Andy and Virgil van Dijk weren't happy with each other on that occasion, but then with 4 minutes to go, they were celebrating together again as the big man, the skipper, Virgil van Dijk, pounces to get what turned out to be the winning goal. Remember Füllkrug, the German who hit the bar in that game, whether VAR would have given it offside, I'm not so sure looking back at that, but it was a big win. That we all know teams managed by Nuno Espirito Santo, it's going to be difficult. It's low blocks again, no Florian Wirtz, but we've got players who can step up. Dominic Szoboszlai, I think, not playing right back today is massive for us, especially in Anfield. He can help give the service to Ekitike and Mohamed Salah. And one for Jason, our pitchside guest. Jason McAteer has great memories of West Ham for Liverpool. He scored his final 2 goals for the Reds against West Ham United back in May 1998, which were his last 2 goals for the club. Becky, ask him, does he remember? Because they were absolute pearlers. Becky, it's all yours.
Oh, big thanks to Steve Hunter up there on the gantry. He will be talking you through every single kick of the game. But it is time now for us to leave. Those of you watching us on social media, if you want to stick with us though here on Matchday Live, you can find details right now of how you can become a subscriber to LFC TV or All Reds. Head online right now, liverpoolfc.com/watch. Still to come before kick-off here against West Ham, we will hear from both head coaches as well as Cody Gakpo. He's on the way too. Steve will be alongside Tash Dowie for commentary at 3 o'clock before Jason, David and myself are back with you at full time for the post-match show. That is also available to listen to later on in the Reaction podcast, and the full match replay is at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Then Neil Mellor will be in the studio at 6 on Monday evening for in-depth analysis of all the key moments from today's game. So a win for Liverpool this afternoon would see them go 3 points above Chelsea, level with Manchester United. Arne Slot though says he's not thinking about the league table.
The way I see it is that it's not a game for us, and we're not so focused on other teams, as all managers always say. We are mainly focused on ourselves, and we know that we need to win a lot of games because our competitors for these Champions League places are very good teams as well, win a lot. So we know we have to win a lot as well, and that's where our focus is on.